Well, good morning, top performers. This is our final session together, session number 5. It's about your emotional intelligence. And I wanted to start out first by just saying you guys have been amazing. In fact, you've been the most amazing group as far as results are concerned that I think I've ever had. You're averaging over 3 per person over 3 deals already this month. It's just the middle of the month, and you already have in escrow 3 deals. And then we also have another amazing accomplishment, the largest deal attracted, and that's $22 million, a $22 million land development deal. So you guys have just been absolutely fantastic, and I am so, so proud of you. And you are going to love today's session because this webinar is going to really put it all together for you. And it's going to be the missing link also for you to really understand on what a deliberate creator that you are and how to have it the way you want it. And I'm going to start out with just a fun little example on how you truly can have it the way that you want it. And this example comes from yesterday. I took a flight from Dallas to Austin, and it was on Southwest. And if you know Southwest, the way they line up people, you get a number one, and so then about 100 people file in, and then a number 2. And so I was like number 3 on this. And so hundreds of people, couple hundred people, whatever, were in front of me. But I said to myself, that I want in a very easy, loving, knowing, expectant, believing way that I was going to get an aisle seat. And so when I walked into the plane, one of the last people on the plane, that I looked down and every window seat is taken, every aisle seat is taken, and most of the middle seats are taken. So the odds of me, and remember, we're rising above odds now, but the odds of me and in the world, if we just observe what is that I'm not supposed to have an aisle seat. But I stated what I wanted, and I believed it, I expected it, and I allowed it. And so the other just humorous thing, I mean, I'm giggling to myself as I'm walking down the aisle of the plane, because not only is there not an aisle seat that I want, but I have a fairly large bag that I'm carrying with me that I have to put above. And where I can see that from the beginning of the plane, front of the plane, that it's like all the slots are taken. There's no place to even put my luggage from the point of view that I was at. So I'm walking down and just saying, everything's just great and wonderful, and really not even thinking about it, just knowing that everything's going to work out just great for me. And I want you to believe that and know that too, that everything is working out just great for you. And when you allow all that is God, your source, to do what you have asked that you want, that it will come to you. It is only you that gets in your way. And now you realize you're not going to get in your way anymore. So I didn't get in my way. And I'm walking down the aisle still. And I'm about, I don't know, almost 7/8 of the way down the plane. And I see there's one place that I can go ahead and lift my luggage up. So I take my luggage, I lift it up, and I look down, and I say, I need to get in. I just figure, I'm just going to allow the universe. And the man says, oh, let me move over. And he moves over to the middle seat, and I sit on an aisle seat. And like, it's just those little things, to appreciate those little things and just to get thrilled by it. Because when you're thrilled by the little moments in your life, that you will start seeing more and more moments, bigger and bigger moments that will happen to you. And, there really isn't, in God's eyes, there isn't a small thing and a real big thing. God can give you a castle down to a little thimble. It doesn't matter. It's no work, no effort. Literally the energy that creates world is backing you, and now you're starting to really understand on how you can start creating the world that you want, the life that you have desired. So as graduation day it is, that I want to begin by just reviewing a little on where we have been and the journey, the amazing, amazing journey that we've had together. That let us start first by looking at the first session that we had was to understand the 4 different areas on where we think in. And so where we think, the first area was that red zone where we're thinking about what we want, but we're not doing it deliberately. So if I would have walked in that plane and then said, gee, I want an aisle seat, I wouldn't have gotten an aisle seat. That it is because, it's like too late. The energy, you have to allow source to walk in front of you. In fact, a great thing that I'd like you to write down is the word pause. And I shared this with you one other time. It's just a pause. And when you pause, think of it as just allowing God to walk in front of you, okay, and bring you what you deliver. And so when we're in that top left-hand zone, that red zone, when we're thinking about what we want, but we're not doing it deliberately, and we're doing it right at the time when we have the bad listing appointment or whatever the case may be, that it's too late. And so we need to pre-pave, and that's a great word to think about, is that from now on, you're pre-paving and what will be, to be thinking about what will be. So there's another area that we looked at on how we think about it, and it's where we think about what we don't want, but we don't do it deliberately. And so this is basically busy work. And so we're just thinking about not stuff that we don't want. It's almost neutral stuff. And so, the example is waking up early in the morning and wanting to clean out your closet. And then you have some coffee and read the paper and watch the TV. And 2 o'clock in the afternoon, you haven't done it. And you say, gosh, and it increases your stress. And so you haven't thought about what you do want. And so in essence, it's what you don't want, and non-deliberately. But the zone that before you came into this process, most of us have been in, is that zone where we have the committee working against us, thinking about the things that don't work, thinking about the things that trouble us. That committee in our mind about the fear, the false evidence appearing real, about the fear, the worry, the doubt, the complaining, the blaming, the thinking about what I don't have, the lack of what I don't have, thinking about what is missing. If I continue to think about what is missing, it's only going to get better. And again, since this is part of our graduation day, is to review this, is to really embrace and understand that you have the power in order to stop thinking that way, and the power to let the committee go. There's no need for having this committee in your mind that controls your life, and it gives you what you don't want. And it's literally deliberately thinking about what you don't want. And so you just don't want to do that anymore. And it's easy. You have the power to do that. And so where we got to then is to realize that we can live in the green zone. And this is where we are very deliberate, and we're thinking about what we do want. And so this is the start of all of creation. You're it. Science has proven this, that I prove it to myself every day. I help many people, and you're part of those people now that have realized the magnificent creator that you are. I was in a seminar yesterday, and someone who was in our last top performers. And that out of the blue, like he was, first of all, he was there. And then out of the blue, when I asked at the end if there's any questions, he stopped and he said, and this guy's about, probably 67, 68 years old. And he called himself an old guy that, couldn't change his ways. And so I told him to stop thinking that way, that he's a young guy. In fact, it's my birthday today. And so I'm 61 years old and feeling just light as a feather. I'm feeling good, fresh as a daisy, just loving life. Figure I got another 61 years. And however many years I have, it's no big deal. I'll just come back again or whatever. So it's all great. And that each one of us, you and me, are at the perfect place in our lives right now. So some people get a little upset and say, gosh, I wish I would have known this before, but there's no need to do that. So this man yesterday said that it literally changed his life. And he understood about what we're going to be talking about today. He understood the importance of our feeling, of our emotions. And we're going to really get involved and immersed in this missing component to everything I have shared with you, that you're going to have it today and you're going to really understand it. But it was this session that took this man on his old ways, on his business, not very good. His business is thriving. His relationships are thriving. His son is coming into the real estate business now. He's just putting him into virtual top performers. Everything is going his way now. And it's because he decided that he would take over the committee, number one, live in the green zone, and think about what is working. And so, if you want to write down a few things kind of just as reminders of what is that green zone, it's thinking about what is working. It is thinking about what will be. If you don't dream about, for example, in my personal platinum coaching that I do, that I take each person through literally we have a journey together, and we travel into their future, and we look in 3 months, we float, if you will, 3 months, and then we land, and we say, what does that look like? Because see, if you don't ask, you shall receive. If you don't ask, if you're not thinking about what that future is, it'll never come to you. And then we go to 6 months. So I want you right now to think about what happens on Christmas Day. You're sitting at Christmas Day, and maybe it's a tree with lots of presents, whatever, but you're thinking, here's all the things that I became. And so I want to send you off today to really be thinking about, this is how I feel on Christmas Day. I feel so good about all the things that I have achieved, about all the things that I came to be, about the understanding that I have, about the thriving business that I have, the thriving life, the thriving relationships, the good health, and so to feel that, again, as specific as you can while you still feel good, okay? And so maybe you look and your checking account has $50,000 in it. If you can't imagine it, and if you don't ask for it, it's never going to be there, okay? And then I want you right now to think, so we thought about 3 months, and what does the end of September, what is the end of September? What does that bring you? September 30th is a Tuesday, and on that September 30th, when you're standing there, what have you achieved? How many listings have you had? How many, whatever you're looking for that you want to be, do, and have, that what is that? What does that look like? Then 6 months out, Christmas Day, right now I want you to think about, I land on Christmas Day, and how am I feeling? What's going on in my life? What have I achieved in the last 6 months? And then I want you to float up and now go to 1 year out. And that's July 4th. And just think, on July 4th, where are you? Are you in your new $1 million home? Are you driving your new car? Are you just so madly in love with yourself, with your partner, with life? Where are you? And so just feel that on what you want, not what you think you can maybe get. And there's a difference there on what you think you can get versus what God can deliver you and what you really want. That's what rings your bell. That's what makes your heart sing. So I want you to think about in the next year, July 4th, where am I? What are all the things that I be, do, and have? Okay. And as you do that, that you go, and again, I get into meditations where we invest about a half hour on that, where we really get planted and understand what that is, and then take you into a meditative state to have you just feel that you're there. Once you feel you're there, you'll have it. It'll come into your experience. So it's just magnificent. So back to living in that green zone, thinking about the things that I want, okay? Thinking about what will be, thinking about what's working, thinking about what's pleasing me. If you just get lost in that, like some people say, you know, Dr. Hank, you got your head in the clouds, and you bet. I have my head in the clouds and my feet are grounded in the roots of Mother Earth. And that I'm flying and I'm having just a great, great time. And you can have a great time. You can have the aisle seat, or if you read my encouragement on, you know, I went to Washington D.C. and I got first class, and so you know, it's whatever you enjoy, whatever you want. That, you know, would you prefer first class or would you prefer to be in the back of the bus? Well, first class is a lot more fun. And then my life is just getting better and better. And so is yours. And you just know that. I'm going to Russia in 2 weeks and going to just have a glorious time there. And I'm going to shoot a video there. About a new song that I have. Where do all these things come? I could never, ever imagine all this, that like I have a song that just is a rocking song. It's just an amazing song based on one of my encouragements. And it's called Here Today. And everything that you want is here today. The thoughts that you want, the feelings that you want, and you're doing all of this because of the feeling of it. So going back to kind of the review, so living in the green zone. And then we learned in our second week together about how the power of understanding on our different behaviors and what motivates us, our different motivations, and how for you to understand who you are and to love yourself for who you are. You are magnificent. And the more that I was driving back with someone, I had no ride, by the way, when I landed in Austin, or I should say the day before. I had no ride scheduled at all, but I just knew the universe would work it out. And so I ended up having a ride by one of our vendors there. And then he said, hey, I have to leave. And he's driving a Range Rover and just a great guy and goes on vacations and is really enjoying life. And he said, hey, he had to leave. And he said, what are you going to do for a ride? And I said, oh, no problem. You know, the universe will handle it for me. And he kind of just smiles and just like, that guy, Dr. Hank, you know. And 2 minutes later, that a lady comes up to me, sits down. She was in Top Performers 6 months before. We didn't communicate very much during that. I don't know if it really helped her or not. And she came up to me and she said, hey, would you like me to take you to the airport? And I said, sure. And on our way to the airport, she said, wow. You know, before I took Top Performers, virtual Top Performers, she said she was so mean to herself. She would never, ever say the things to another person as she said to herself. And I said, really? Like what? And she said, well, she had been in real estate for 1 year and she hadn't had any closes, 0 closes. I said, well, how many closes do you have right now? She goes, no, not only closes do I have listings. And she said, I've taken your advice and I've decided that I declared I want out of the blue listings. She has 1 listing that closed this month already. She has 4 other listings that are in escrow. And she has another listing that last night she went and saw. And I asked her, what are you saying to, what were you saying to yourself? And she said, wow, my committee used to really be powerful, that I would say things like, I can't even sell anything. I can't do anything right. I can't even, not only can I not close any business, but that I'm trying to lose weight and I'm gaining weight. I'm just a failure. She was saying all these things. That was her self-talk. And she realized that she was gaining momentum instead of the direction of what she wanted, but into the direction of what she didn't want. And that virtual top performers took her out of that, and it's taking you out of it right now, and it's putting you into a whole new place. At this moment, as we speak, that you understand that you are in a new place. You're a new person now. You are born again now, that you have risen. Just like the sun rises every day, you have risen and you have decided, I'm going to start thinking about the things that I want, and that is the number one thing in the green zone, is to think good feeling thoughts. And I'd like you to write that down. Good feeling thoughts. Any other thoughts that aren't are creating a nightmare in your life, or will create a nightmare in your life. So you just think about good feeling thoughts. And again, what are those? About what desires, what I desire, what I want, what's working. Okay. All of those are in the green zone. And so again, in week 2, that we, then learned about how that we can look at different behavior styles, and we can really start tapping into people. In fact, we went beyond behaviors, beyond people's motivations, and we stated, and this is the truth and know it to be, that you can make any person the way that you want them to be by thinking differently. So if you want your mate to be loving and supportive, someone says to me, oh, I want my mate to be more intimate. Then what does that mean? Start talking about those words. It means caring and feeling and loving and embracing and, all of those. And if you just think about that, it's only possible to have that person that way. That this person I was driving back with in the car, that this person decided, you know what I love? I love listings. She's the queen now of listings, and she had absolutely nothing. And so you are the queen or the king of whatever you so desire. And so how remarkable and how amazing that is in who you are. We then went into the third session together, and we learned about our beliefs. And so again, I'd like you to write down 3 things right now. It's ABE, A-B-E. And the A is for allow. That you have done plenty of asking of what you want. All you need to do now is allow. And that allowing comes into the emotions, which again, we're going to get into here. And that allowing, so you want to allow yourself. Another good way to maybe personalize it is give yourself permission. Give yourself permission to earn lots of money. Give yourself permission to have the type of relationships you want. Give yourself permission to have the health that you want. I look younger and younger every day. And people say, come on, you don't. Yeah, I do. Because I believe that. And so I believe that. And other people tell me, but I really don't care if other people tell me or not, that I just think that, and I feel great. I feel like a spring chicken. And I love that. On my birthday at 61, I love feeling like a spring chicken. So what are the things that you're saying to yourself? And one of the things that I'd like you to start thinking about is your new story. And part of my coaching that my Platinum Coaching has is to think about, what's your new story? What's a new story you're talking to yourself about? What's a new story in the circumstances that you want to have now? What's your new story and the type of business that you have? What type of labels do you want to call yourself? Do you want to be the queen or the king of listings? Do you want to be the lover? Do you want to be just known as just a bundle of joy to other people? Do you want to be known as an uplifter? Of course you do. And so start telling a new story. So beautiful to tell the new story. So it's back to A, to allow, and then the B is for to believe. And so all you have to do is believe it. All you need to do is believe is that you're the creator of your experience, all of it. Okay. Cooperative components come around. And so I use the analogy. If you're asking for yellow and you keep on thinking about red, you're going to get orange, and you're going to say, I'm not the creator of my life because I didn't ask for orange. But I'm sharing with you that you're asking for the things that you want, and you used to then think about the things that you didn't want. But now you have risen yourself to a whole new level. You're aligning yourself with your creator, with God, with your source. That is how magnificent you are, and that you create it all. And so you believe that, and all you need is blind faith. This other lady then yesterday in our seminar said, yes, and I went through, she happened to go through Top Performers the session before too, and she said, yeah, before, the only thing I did is I just started to say, I'm just going to believe everything Dr. Hank says. And when you believe everything that I say, your life is going to light up, and your lives have lit up. They have been amazing. The responses that I'm getting from you guys are just, and what is that? The one that Delfino said on an amazing, magical, physical experience. That's what you can have. You can have, but you just have to believe this. Okay, and just allow this. So ABE, allow, believe, and then the E is for expect it. Just expect your good to come to you. Expect your desires to come to you. One step at a time. Okay. The other day I walked into Ultima Real Estate, and the lady was there, and she had been in Top Performers maybe a year and a half ago. And she came up and she ran up to me and she said, Dr. Hank, I just wanted to let you know that you have changed my life. And I said, oh, great. That makes me feel so good. And I'm so happy that, you realize and what a creator you are. And she said, yeah, it is just absolutely amazing on how I have allowed myself now to have all the things that I want. And then she asked me, she said, hey, did you get your Bentley yet? Because she had seen on Facebook where I did a test drive with the Bentley. And I said, nope, not yet, but I expect to very soon. And so it's this expectation of that. Don't be looking at what's missing. Okay. You ask for it and just enjoy. Like, I want to sell more of my books. So yesterday I sold 4 of my books. 4. And I am so happy. I am so elated on that. I sold, and I've published 2 books recently, Encouragement from Dr. Hank, and the brand new one is Inspiring Quotes. And that Inspiring Quotes it's published, but it's not out. I have it being shipped to me. And but I sold 4 books, and I'm so happy for selling 4 books. Now, my dream is I want to be able to offer my book to millions of people. But I don't get disappointed over, oh, I don't have the millions of people yet. I get happy over I got 4 people. So just, it's the smile that someone gives. It's those little things. Just go one step at a time. And as you allow that and you expect your good to come, it's going to come to you. Okay. And then we went into Success Unit 4 or our 4th facilitation last week. And that was about really getting some very practical ways to start pre-paving your month and to start pre-paving the tracking on the 1 to 31. I've heard from some of you on how that's been so helpful by tracking your thoughts every day, and then also behaviors, inspired behaviors that you want to do every day. And so it was a very practical way on how to do it. Again, in my Platinum Coaching, you'll get your own time management system. That is just an amazing system that it saves people 3 weeks a year and gets them really focused on their high payoff activities, something we talked about in our first session. So that takes us up to today. So today is going to just be literally the last the last piece of the puzzle in order to fill in and understand on how all of this works. So this is the path to all of your desires, and that path is an emotional path. And our agenda then will be our desires are manifested emotionally. So that's how you get things. We are so used to be these vibrational beings that we don't really understand on what an amazing vibrational being that we are. And that we then look at vibrations that bring you what you don't want. So I'm going to share with you on recall the steps on how to actually manifest anything. Step one is your thoughts, and your thoughts immediately create an emotion, and that emotion then is a signal that is sent out to your source, and your source holds it there, answers you immediately, and has it there. You just need to raise up to that highest perspective of whatever subject that you want. So whether it be that business, that thriving business, that for you to be consistently in that emotional state. So I'm going to share with you today on how your thoughts, how those thoughts create vibrations of what you don't want. And then vibrations that bring you what you do want. So this is literally the missing key, the solution to how to make life work even better than you've already demonstrated. Again, you guys have been the most remarkable group I've ever had in the last 20 years. And as far as results, business results, and some other things as well. But business results, you're averaging over 3 closes per person this month, and we're only halfway into the month, and we have the largest deal that we ever attracted, and that's a $22 million deal. It's just incredible on what you have done, and I'm going to show you on how these vibrations will get you even more. And then we'll look at next steps to take you beyond your imagination. And that is something that I want you to ask, and you can write it down right now, is that to ask this, that I want to expand my imagination. You know, when I took you through that 3 months, that 6 months, that 1 year, I know that kind of hit you, kind of thinking about, wow, what is it do I want in 3 months, 6 months, and 1 year? And as you start thinking about that, that helps to expand your imagination. And you just ask your source to help you expand your imagination, expand your feelings, that there is so much more now that is going to just start breaking open in your life, that you are just going to absolutely be astonished and amazed and dazzled and delighted by it, as this is going to tap you into more things that currently you haven't even imagined that are going to happen in your life now. These are exciting times, my friend. So you are a vibrational being. Everything is energy. Okay, so again, if you go to the scientists, what the scientists state how creation is, thought creates energy, what they call energy, which is your emotion, that then creates matter, M-A-T-T-E-R. For you, for us, it's our experience, okay? Scientists have also told us that if you look at your hand right now, that hand has literally billions of atoms that are in like your finger, and there's more space in between those atoms. So really what the finger you're looking at is more space than it is this hard, physical, dense cell. And so the fact is that your energy, you're a vibrational being. And so this has been proven by scientists. Now, all you need to do is take blind faith and just believe me that you are vibration. You are energy. We're energy. We create and direct this energy with our thoughts. What energy am I referring to? The energy of the universe. The energy of all that is. The energy that creates worlds, that you control it with your thoughts. That's why you can have anything that you can imagine. But if you start saying, conflicting, troubling, opposing thoughts, then you're right, because whatever you think, you're going to get. so you understand that you create and direct this energy. You are literally the conductor of the symphony of the universe. And so enjoy it. And if you are thinking about like, well, and maybe before you thought about, gee, this is kind of a selfish teaching, you bet. No one else can think for you. Nobody else can feel for you. You're it. You have to do your own thinking, your own feeling for yourself. And so you have the power to do that. You can think whatever you want. On Sunday morning, I woke up and I'm telling you, I wake up typically on such a high flying vibration, that high flying saucer, always, out on the right side of the bed, etc. And I woke up Sunday morning and I wasn't feeling that way. And you know what I said? I used the F word, but I said, hey, so it goes. So it goes. No big deal. I am not going to pay attention to if I am feeling, not as good as I normally do. I'm not paying attention to that. By the afternoon, it took me that long, but by the afternoon, I was on a higher flying saucer than I ever was. And why is that? Because this is contrast. I woke up. I wasn't, on that high flying disc, and I woke up and I didn't pay attention to it other than saying I didn't like that. And I want to go higher than I've ever been. That's what I asked for. And I was feeling like shit at the time. Okay, that I wasn't feeling that good. But I said, I want to go higher than I ever was. And by the afternoon, my gosh, by the afternoon, I was there higher than ever. And so you can do that too. And you have the power in this present moment to be, do, and have anything that you want. And you are the director. You're the conductor. You're it. You're the master of life. You create the life that you want. You can create the way other people are to you. They all are alpha to the omega, and you can make them the way that you want. And then when they suddenly don't, you just go, hey, for whatever reason, this happened. It might be something past whatever, but I'm not going to give any power to that. And I'm going to start giving power to, what do I want? Hey, I want people that aren't on the ornery flying saucer, okay? And how many times have you been ornery, and then without knowing it, you went into the vibrational flying saucer of the ornery people, and you kept on meeting ornery people all day? Well, we're not going on that flying saucer anymore. And you know what? If you're feeling ornery, don't go out. Just cancel everything. Because who wants that? Who wants to meet all the ornery people? You just want to meet the good people. So there is relief in that, and relief is a godly word. That think about just the relief, and they would feel the relief. So you create and direct energy with your thoughts. And here is the kicker, and to understand that our source communicates with us through our feelings. God literally, that's why, some people say to me, why didn't God tell me about what I'm sharing with you? Why didn't God tell me this when, I was a kid, or when I was 20 or whatever? And the fact is, God has always been there and given you something way more better than what I'm giving you. And that is the emotions of direct access to your source. On when you feel bad, you're not thinking about that subject the way that source is. And then when you're feeling good, so you've always had this understanding. It's just that you were brought up and, with parents or whatever, all well-meaning, but brought up in ways that weren't the truth. But you knew when you were a kid, you knew that some of this just didn't make sense. But you kept on, hearing it, and eventually you accepted it, and eventually you said, this is my belief. But I'm sharing with you that belief is only a thought that you keep on thinking. And so today is, hey, I'm going to relax and ease up on all of my beliefs that I've had. That I'm going to relax, ease up on those, and I'm going to just start thinking about what will be, how my life will be, and that will put me right in direct communication, alignment, and I'm going to rendezvous with Source. This morning when I was doing my Joy Shop, I said, you know what? I'm rendezvousing with you now, and I know that in this webinar that I'm going to touch your minds, hearts, and souls, and I'm going to rendezvous with Source, and I'm going to channel directly the words, those feelings, the body language, everything, so in order to enable you and heighten you to go to a whole new level. I got an email yesterday from one of you that just said, I know you hear this all the time, but my God, my life is so changed and everything. Yeah, that's right, that you did it. You did it. You're it. And so you got this now, and now you recognize that, my God, I've always had it. I just got a little off. I didn't understand. Now you understand how life works. And you're going to learn in the next few minutes even some more that's going to just be able to touch you to where you're going to really feel and understand how life works and how you can have life working even better for you. So the bottom line of this is, when you feel bad, you're thinking away from the way Source is thinking about whatever it is. And when you feel good, milk it. So when you're on a thought, I want you to milk it. I was flying back from Austin yesterday, and I'm on the plane, and of course in the aisle seat, and because that's what I wanted. That's on the way back. I shared with you my story on the way there. On the way back, of course, get an aisle seat also, and so in a real comfortable seat, friendly people next to me. And it was just a wonderful little boy that was there. It was just a great time. I have great times all the time. When you vibrate that way, you vibrate the goodness, the essence, the godliness out of all other people. And so you're the light now of the world, that you are shining. And so shine on the world. There aren't any more pity parties, that you have given those up, and that you have said, yeah, I own this. And by golly, I'm going to be the light of the world. I'm going to vibrate high. I'm going to align with my Source, and I'm going to feel good. And so when I was on the plane, I was thinking about just how great it was to be with those people yesterday, and and the comments they had. And so I just started milking it. I just continued to think of it. I could have thought about, I need to get on my computer and do email or whatever. I just forget all that stuff. Okay. Whenever you can latch on to a thought that feels good, just keep on milking it. And as you do, everything is going to start coming to you. The heavens are going to part. Okay. Like I say, something just, I could never, ever do this. We co-create, okay, that I'm the one that starts it, and then Source delivers the how to me. And so when I all of a sudden, this musician sends me this song, and I'm thinking about this song, and I'm thinking about, well, how could I get this out to a lot of people? It's kind of like a rock and roll song, and how could I do that? And so, I'm asking Source, how do I do that? And so next thing I know, I'm talking to this guy that is knows a lot about music, and he goes, hey, go to this website and see what you can do. Anyways, one thing leads to the next, and next thing I know, I'm talking to a video guy saying that when I go to Russia, I should take lots of pictures, and he can make a video that goes with my song. He heard the song and just loves it, and that I could make a video with it. Like, I would never, ever imagine any of this stuff. But see, I just open up and I milk the things that feel good, and then everything starts coming to me, and everything is coming to you now. And you just realize, and write this down, that everything is getting better and better for me now. Write it down. Everything is getting better and better for me now. You've been taught you got to figure out the how, you got to be a problem solver, all that. Just give it up. The whole bottom line to all of life is to feel good. As you feel good, you're aligned with your Source. To feel good. So desires are manifested emotionally. So a lot of us think we got to do a lot of stuff. And as you know, my statement on that if you do a lot of do-do, you just get do-do. So you don't have to do a lot of stuff, okay? What you need to do, be, if you will, is to thinking about what I want and why I want it that creates the energy that then will manifest it. Okay, and I know some of you say, but hold on, I teach people, how to do a lot of stuff, and they do good then when they do that. Yeah, well, that's energy, but I'm sharing with you that that's going upstream. The downstream way, the easy way, is to create the energy. Instead of you trying to force the energy, you just flow with the energy, and then you'll be able to manifest everything and anything that you want. It's about that energy, and it will flow into inspired action. And so when you're going downstream, the stream, so as a review, that your source knows where you are. Your source knows where you want to go, the things that you want. And your source knows the downstream, easy, joyful path to that. And so it's a matter of you to aim it, allow it, believe it, expect it, that you know where you are, you know what you want, and now just float down that stream. And so desires are manifested emotionally. You're the leading edge creator. You start it all, and you start it all with your thought. Your thoughts then create an emotion, a vibration. Those emotions are then send a signal to your source. Your source answers in energy form. So at this point, I know most of you are saying, I don't want it in energy form. I want it in my bed. I want it in my bank, whatever that. And the fact is that your source, when you line up consistently with your source on thinking of any subject, that then that's where you'll be going downstream. That's where the heavens part, and that you shall have, be, do, and have everything that you have wanted. Ask for it and expect it emotionally. This is an emotional journey. Most of us have been told, don't show emotion. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm crying. Just stop all that cry. Hopefully crying in joy over just amazing, incredible things that will happen. And I'm sharing with you that you start asking, I want to cry in joy, and you're going to start having so many joyful things that will create you crying in joy. There's nothing finer than to be crying, but crying in joy. It's making your heart sing. And again, most of us have been taught that, don't pay attention to your emotions. Use your intellect. Your intellect is only here. Your mind power, and understand the difference here. The brain is your physical brain that communicates with your body. That's the brain. Your mind is the spiritual essence, if you will, that you can control your brain, and then the communication within your body. You do it all. And it all has, your body cells have their own consciousness, and they are all seeking to be aligned with source, and you're the one that can either allow them with your thoughts by feeling good, or disallow them and create dis-ease. And so that's why I'm living a long and happy life and prosperous life, because that's what I have asked for, and that's what I consistently think of. So I'm on that high-flying saucer aligned with my source. So as I expect it, it can only be that way. That's the magnificent creator that you are. Now, this next screen, these next two screens are going to help really put it all together for you now. That we're going to start at kind of the lowest end that all of us, by the way, have been at. And this is a negative emotion that tells me I'm not thinking about this. I'm thinking about this in a wrong way. I'm looking at this differently than God is. I am off track. I'm off my path. I'm cutting myself off to the resources that I want. And just a little, um, a few comments about that. So as you have negative emotion, and you have all been there, where you've been disempowered, where you've been fearful, that the beauty is that with your thoughts, you're cutting off the stream to your source, okay? You're off your path. But the good news is you can never, ever, for eternity, turn it all the way off. And when you transition out of this body, you'll automatically be at one and be at one with all of those desires that you birthed here in this amazing, beautiful world with this contrast of what we don't want that births what we do want. So you can never cut off the energy from your source, but you can reduce it significantly. And that's where you have negative emotion. And so if you look at a scale, like if you look at a wall right now that put a line halfway up that wall, and we're talking about the bottom part of that wall, and those are negative emotions. You are resisting your good. You're resisting your source, and you're resisting your full intent. Your inner being knows what your intention is and your clear, full intent. And as you relax and allow and get out of negative emotion, that you are going to have more clarity. Each of you have more clarity on where you're going now than you did 6 weeks ago. And so you just know that, wow, that clarity means I'm getting someplace. I'm aligning myself with my inner being and with my source. So to look at some of these, the bottom part of all negative emotion is this, is when you feel disempowered. I remember when I was a boy and I had two older brothers that didn't like me being around at all, but they had to babysit me and whatever. And they would wrestle me down in the grass and they would put their knees on the muscles of my arms and kind of dig my arms into the ground. And then they would, this was torture, and this was contrast. And then they'd grab some grass and they'd tickle my nose. And they'd have their knees in between my face so I couldn't move. And they tickle my nose. And that's called, I guess, Chinese torture. And that's what the hell those brothers of mine did, okay? Well, at one point, I was fighting and struggling and fighting and fighting. And I finally gave up. And I remember that so vividly because it was my source telling me, shit, you got to get out of this feeling. You're so disconnected. You're at the bottom. You're at the pits. You're disempowered. And all of us have felt that way on that disempowerment. And how do we know that our source is there? Because those bad feelings are telling us from our source, you're not with me. Okay, you're cutting me off. And so thus you can understand that, wow, no longer am I disempowered. In fact, you are powerful. You are empowered. Fear, remember, and you'll recognize that on how this all matches into the things that we talked about in our first session, on how we're translating all of these thoughts now into our emotions, which our emotions are the ones that actually manifest. It starts with our thoughts, but our emotions manifest to our source. Our source brings it back in energy form into matter or people or circumstances or whatever, as long as we stay on that and are consistently, on a fairly consistent basis, feeling good. Bottom line, feeling good. So you'll notice now that the committee, that red zone that we discussed in number one, that's an emotion, and the emotional scale of fear, false evidence appearing real, puts you at the bottom of the scale. So that wall you have with the line on the halfway at the bottom on the floor is sitting where you have felt disempowered, where you have felt fear, where you have felt unworthy. And that I now, and I want you to declare right now that we are all worthy. You were born worthy. You were so incredible that you took your thoughts and your energy and created yourself into this amazing emotional energy body that grew from an infant to an adult. You are just awesome. But we were taught in many of the things in religion, whatever, and we were unworthy. And the fact is that you were born worthy. And what it does is it creates what you don't want. And that's why you say, wow, my day's getting worse. Can't get any worse than this. And then it does. Because there's no end to this bottom. So if you go again at this scale on the wall, that below that wall, let's call it hell, right? And we've all been there too. Then you go down there, and that there's a never-ending hell that you can create with your thoughts when you're thinking about the things that you don't want, that displeases you, that are troublesome to you, that you feel are lacking, things that are lacking in your life, that there's no end to it. You can give me proof on why it is. You'll find more circumstances, events, people, all that stuff, because that's called the law of attraction, that similar cooperative components are going to go and meet you wherever you are. Do you know that, let's say you want to get a divorce, okay? When you leave in that relationship, that you're bringing yourself along with you, and you're vibrating at the same point that you were before, and you'll pick up the same, a-hole that you had before, because it's your vibration. And so you want to say, I'm not going there anymore. That I always drag myself along with me, and you, the most important part of you, is your vibration. Whatever you're vibrating, you're going to pick up similar people. So all you need to do is change how you're thinking and then how you're feeling, and you're going to be able to change your life. And most of you, if not all of you, have changed your life significantly in this short 6 weeks. And it's going to get nothing but better for you. That you will see as you start marching up this wall, marching up this emotional scale, and you're going to see there's no end up either. There is no end there. It is going to be more glorifying for you, happier for you, more thrilling for you than your wildest imagination. That's why I want you to expand now and ask for. I want to go beyond that wall that I'm looking for on those emotions. I want to go beyond that. I want to go up to the sky. I want to go to Mars. I want to go beyond the universe. That you start thinking that way, and you're going to start having all of those things that are going to just delight you and surprise you. Expect surprising and delightful things every day. And I want you to write down something right now. And then I want you to ask that you sense with Source, that you be with Source. So I want to sense. So I want to see as Source sees. I want to feel as Source feels. Because in this present moment, Source is looking at this moment as glorious. And that you may not, and well, I know you are, because we're all fired up right now. You are fired up, and you're starting to recognize your power, even more so than you have in the last 6 weeks. You're starting to recognize, my God, I have some power. I can do this. I can have it the way I want it. And yes, you can. And so to ask for, and every morning in my Joy Shop, I ask for that I want to sense with Source. So in other words, I want to see as Source sees. I want to feel as Source feels. I want to think as Source thinks. And as you are, you become so aligned, and then an amazing, amazing thing is going to happen to you. That I shared with you that, so if you understand this, this is the secrets of the universe that are being shared with you right now. That I shared with you that on creation starts with your thought, and your thought then goes to emotion, it goes to Source, you then allow it, and then you experience it. Well, catch this. that when you experience it, okay, and when you start allowing it, so start working backwards now, start allowing it, what's going to happen is you are going to get feelings from source. You're going to get feelings from God, okay? And that's going to inspire you and make you feel even better. And then you're going to get thoughts from God. You're going to get thoughts from your source. So start allowing those in and say, I am a complete allower of my source, that I now allow, that I have asked and I have started it all. And now source is responding with feelings that are even higher and with thoughts that are even more glorious. Just imagine that's how tremendous you are and your source is, that your source is going to guide you to greater places than you've ever been, because you have done the first steps. And remember, out of those 5 steps of you only need to do 2. Think about what you want. You automatically create an emotion, so you don't have to do that. Source automatically answers, so you don't have to do that. And then your second step that you need to do is just to allow it, to aim it, to allow it, to believe it, to expect it. And then you're going to experience it, but then you're going to get it back, but higher, in a higher feeling, and a higher thought. And you are truly, as one person wrote to me yesterday, that you truly are living in heaven right here on earth. That is rendezvousing with your source. That is being at one with your source. And that is the secret of the universe. That is being led. You want to be led by God? That is how to do it. And you now know, and you understand that, and you embrace that, and you just ask. All you have to do is ask to be aligned, to allow, to believe, to expect, to expand now your imagination, and that you ask to be led by your source, to be led with your senses. I want to see as source sees. I want to smell as source smells. I want to taste as source tastes. I want to hear as source hears. I want to touch as source touches. I want to think as source thinks. And I want to feel as source feels. And I just gave you the order of how it comes back then. And the prize is that feeling. So it's the senses, and the senses then go up to the thinking, and the thoughts then go to the feeling. And you shall have the prize of all the universe, and that is joy. And it's yours, and you can do it. You have the power to do this in the present moment, right now, and it only takes a minute, and you can create that energy. Do you feel the God bumps that are just flowing through you right now on realizing that, wow, you're it? And the funny part of this, the source is giving me this right now, and I'm on this emotional scale of what I don't want, and so we haven't even gotten to what we do want. So let me share with you. So we're at the bottom, but this is the contrast. This is why I love contrast. This is why I love waking up on Sunday morning and not feeling my best, because I know I'm going to a higher point. It bursts new desires. I don't get down on anything. That it just heightens me. It enlightens me. I love it. And I love it all. And I just smile and I giggle and I'm in love. I'm in love with you. I'm in love with me. I'm in love with the world. I'm in love with God. I'm in love with my source, with all that is. And as you are in love, you just raise that vibration to this alignment with all that is. So back to what you don't want. That guilt is another one. So your past has nothing to do with you. Okay, it has absolutely nothing to do with you. And other people that think about you on whatever you did or were, it has nothing to do to include whatever it is right now. You don't think about what is. Okay, what is has nothing to do with you. What has to do with you is you're the creator, and what will be. That is what you're going to think about, that's going to spark the emotions, that's going to then have source pick up on the things that you want, and then source will lead you. If you allow to be guided, source will lead you to all the things that you want. That right there is the answer to everything. That's what I just shared with you. So guilt is gone. Shame. Forget the shame. There's nothing to be shameful for. You're worthy. The things that happened in your past that you did, that you said, that whatever, that they all were that contrast that helped birth you to where you are right now. There's no accident that you're sitting in this webinar right now. There's no accident that we're together. You attracted me. You asked. You wanted more. You wanted more understanding. You wanted to create the things that you wanted. You were sick and tired of the damn contrast, and so that's where I came. And that's why you attracted me, and that's what always happens, that people that want that answer, that you have the answer. So you're on this right now. You're the one that has been chosen. You're the chosen one to know the truth and know how life works, and know that you have all the power in order to create it. Despair, anger, okay? But remember, anger is better than the guilt and the fear. That you want to get angry. If you're angry, get angry. Get a pillow, beat the hell out of it. Get angry, because it's better than you being down and disempowered. And again, I work with psychologists, and they always, when people feel disempowered, they go meet with them, they talk about it, they start getting angry, and they say, oh, don't get angry. They go right back down to disempowered. Get pissed off, okay? It's fine. Get mad about it, and let's move on. And where are we moving on to? Well, I'll start worrying about it, but you're going to start moving up and up and up, and concern and doubt. And see, all these things are what you don't want, all keep you from what you want. And that you don't have to have any of these things, okay? And negative expectancy, negative emotion, work. Don't use the word work anymore. I always use play, and that's what I do. I just play. We were meant to have this as just a big, huge playground to where we could sift through the contrast and figure out what we don't want, that bursts what we do want, and then have it. We are supposed to have our dreams come true. So those birth desires from the contrast of what we didn't want are the things that we do want. And so and then we're supposed to experience them. We have the power to experience them by getting our energy and just thinking about that. Most people that you meet are trapped in that area of what they don't want, and they're still thinking about what the hell they don't want, what's lacking, what's missing, what displeases them, etc. And so, it's like at the food buffet, and you're starting to get this now, that's at the food buffet, that hell, there's the lousy spinach that you don't like. And, you don't anymore go over to the spinach and start talking to other people and yourself and complaining and bitching about the bad spinach. Instead, we're going to the dessert area. And we're going to go find the desserts and get that good chocolate cream pie. Boy, I had a peach cobbler the other night. Oh, was it good? So, that's what you do. And as long as you believe that it's going to be healthy for you and you're thin, trim, and fit, it won't do squat to you other than help you become healthier, trim, slim, and fit. But it's all done unto you as you believe. So believe that desserts are good and go have a bunch of them. And I don't know if you can go that far yet, but you just know one step at a time. Just feel good about, hey, I don't have to sit and bitch about the spinach anymore. I'm going to start doing other things. I like filet mignon, I like some other vegetable, whatever it is. And that's with life, that I want you to just go one step at a time. Just think about more and more things that please you. So no more work. It's all play. So everything isn't going to work out for you. Everything is going to play out for you. And isn't that wonderful, huh? Yeah, I love everything playing out for me. So the bottom line of all this, and this word I want you to write down, is resistance. Remember I shared with you there's only well-being? When you start sensing, when you start seeing through and with Source, there is none of this crap. There is none of this on the menu. Your menu has changed. Your story has changed. You have released your resistance. Only well-being flows. And when you believe that and understand that and know that, which you can right now, that you let go of that resistance, and there's only one other choice to go. So those are all resistant thoughts, and I want you to catch yourself. If you're looking at anything in a negative, bad way, they're resistant thoughts. It's not the truth about how Source looks at it. And if you ask, how do you look at it, Source? How do you think about it? How do you feel about it? You will be given one step at a time, okay? There's not so much quantum steps as there are just take it easy. We have all of eternity. There's no hurry. Relax. Breathe deeply. The fastest way for you to get connected with your source is breathe. So if you're in a situation, if you're thinking of something and you're not feeling good, breathe. Breathe deeply. And everybody just do that right now. Just breathe in and just relax. Just relax and get very calm. And as you do, the resistance shall just dissipate. It'll evaporate. It no longer is there. And where it goes to is it goes to the emotions of what you do want. Positive emotion tells me I'm thinking upon this correctly. I'm looking at this as God looks at it. I am on track. I am on my path. I am allowing all the resources I desire to help me. See, when you have resistant thoughts, you're cutting off all the resources that you have. There are thoughts, people, circumstances, events, angels, guides that are there to lead you to everything you want. And as you get on this emotional scale, so again, taking the wall, going halfway up, and this is above that line of halfway up, and where you are now, you have landed there. You are in heaven. That you are allowing all the resources of all there is to help you. This is where you're aligned with your source. I am aligned with my full intent of what I do want. So when you're aligned, that again, that inner being of you, knowing your full intent, you're aligned with it, and then you're willing to be guided. Now remember, you're the one that chose, though. It's not like you're a puppet. That you're the one that decided these are the things that I want, and then you allow yourself to be guided to it because your job isn't the how. So let's take a look at these emotions. It's literally creating what you and your source want. At the bottom of that is hope. Hope, and these kind of go up in order. It's positive and it's great. And but hope versus belief is stronger than hope, but it's good. Well, I hope this is going to happen. Well, okay, except that you're a leading edge creator and you can call it. It is better than negative expectancy for sure, and better than doubt. And so you hope, but you can call it the way you want it. You can get that aisle seat. You can get first class seats. You can get the money. You can get the relationships. You can get everything you want. You call it and you get it. And when you get to that mindset where you call it and you expect it to happen, it will happen. And look for it through Source's eyes and you'll start seeing indications. And it'll put you on that path. Remember, you're on this path going downstream. So you're not going to necessarily instantly get it unless you can instantly allow it in. Most of us, hey, take some time, and there's no hurry. So don't get all twisted up about it. Instead, just say, hey, this is all fine. But again, hope isn't as strong as an emotion as others. Being grateful, that's very nice, but it kind of says, well, I am a puppet in a way. Okay, I'm grateful for this. Instead, appreciation that I appreciate who I am and who God is and how we're co-creators in this. And so it just puts you on a little bit higher. But grateful is great. Grateful's fine to be that. But again, working up positive expectancy, positive emotion, that I expect good to happen to me from now on, and it will. Enthusiasm. Get enthusiastic. Some people say, oh, don't get so emotional about that. Get emotional about it. Get more emotional about it. Get high flying about it. Enjoy it. Get excited. Get excited about you and your new life. You are writing your new story. And one super great success step that I would recommend for you to do is write your new story and send it to me. And I would love to hear what is your new story, and get excited about that new story. My new story is that I'm a master at my business. I'm a master at listings. I allow large sums of money to easily and consistently flow into my experience, flow into my checking account. I love that I have uplifting and deep and meaningful relationships. I love that I'm getting younger every day. I love that I'm looking better every day. I just love it on how I call it the way that I want it. And so you just get excited about the new life. And remember, you're the only one that creates your life. You're it. Nobody else can think for you. Nobody else can feel for you. And that's the name of creation. So start thinking about what you want. As you thrive, the world shall thrive. And it reminds me, and I know you've all heard it, but gosh darn, when I'm in the plane and they say, yesterday, and they said that the stewardess literally, or I don't know, airline attendant or whatever they call them now, but she came up to the dad that was next to me, and then the boy who was probably 5 years old next to him. And she says, now remember, to the dad, she says, remember, grab your oxygen mask first and then get your son's. And I just went, that's how I wish everybody were told that. If everybody just knew, when you take care of yourself, you take care of the whole world thrives. So get excited. Have fun. Lighten up. Enjoy this life. Don't think anything is a chore. Just lighten up. You can look at any and everything differently. Okay? Like I had someone say to me, oh my gosh, on my birthday, you're going to be working? I'm thinking, I'm not working at all. I love this. I love being with you guys. I love sharing this truth with you. I love sharing these universal secrets with you. It's incredible. It's fun. It's amazing. I can't wait to see and hear all and feel all the results that you share with me. That makes me feel great. I'm not working. I'm playing. I'm having a great time. And so I want you to be that way too. There is no stressful situation unless you make it so. You're the one, and so make it fun. Make it fun. Knowledge and experience, they're beautiful. Knowledge is beautiful. So you being on this webinar, look at this knowledge and what it has done. It has transformed your life in 6 weeks. It's been amazing. Again, we have in less than in 2 weeks, less than a half a month, we have on average 3 in escrow deals for this month per participant here. We have a deal for $22 million. I mean, it's just amazing on all the things that we can create. We just need to allow it in. And so that knowledge, that experience, all the experiences that you've had, look on them and shed your light and bless all of those experiences. They're just beautiful. It got you right to this point, right where you want to be. You're right now sitting in the seat, in the driver's seat. I love being in the driver's seat. Okay, and that's where you are now because of all this knowledge, all this experience that you've had previously up to this moment has brought you into this perfect place with you understanding the magnificent creator that you are. And at the top, so at the top line, but again, that top line continues to expand for eternity. That's why you're so important, one of the many reasons, but one of the key reasons, you expand all that is as you start to go out and become more and more empowered. As you expand love, think of the love of your children. There's never been a love like you have of your children, that love, that think of the love you have of your grandparents, that that love has never been, there's never been a love like that. You expand all that is, and that your enthusiasm, your eagerness to be able to build empires and have a thriving real estate business, have a thriving life, that is all expanding all that is. It's God, it's joy, the prize of it all is joy, is this feeling of joy, and you can get there. You have the power to get there. Now, everything has been all right, okay, with this contrast and everything. And it doesn't matter what happened before, because remember that your source has enjoyed and understands everything you do want based on the contrast. So source has been just rocking and having a great time. So God's just fine, if you will. It's why don't you join up with God and have a fun time too? And so you can. And there's freedom. One of the reasons you're here is to experience even more freedom. The mantra for the universe is more. And so I want you to just embrace this more. Yes, I want more. I want my more ideal referral partners. Okay, and so just think about referral partner. I want referral partners coming out of the blue. Many of you have shared with me on you're getting listings out of the blue, buyers out of the blue, referral partners out of the blue. The things are just coming to you. Then why are these surprising and delightful things coming to you? Because you are thinking about what you want, and you love this freedom. You aren't this string on the puppet on a string, that you have this freedom. You have the freedom to ask for what you want, and all that is rallies around you, supports you, loves you, guides you to everything that you want. And no more of those resistant thoughts, and instead allowing. So I want you to write that word down, is that I allow. I allow my good feelings to surface to the top. I allow me to surface to the top. Don't you just love that? You just feel that vibration of you rising to the top. You're like a cork in water. You've been holding down that cork, and now you've released that cork. And you float up to the top of the water and going downstream where all your desires are. Easily picking one desire, easily picking it right off the trees. Easy hanging fruit from now on, everything that you desire, one thing after the next, it's all coming to you. All of your dreams are coming to you as you are in this state of allowing, this emotional state of allowing, of loving, of being who you really are. There is no longer any need for resistance on anything, on any subject. There is only well-being. There's only good that flows to you. And you can now float with it and just have everything that you want, that you were born worthy. So you were here for more growth. And this is more. The mantra of the universe of God is more. And so you're creating more and more. And you were here for more freedom and getting more freedom, for more growth. And that you were born worthy. And that you are worthy, and you are good, and you are amazing. And so you just march forward with that, and you'll only be that. You know, I am a kind, good man. The reason why I am is because that's what I say I am. And that's what I become. That's what I am. I'm a good, kind, loving man in love with you and the world. And so you are that way now. And you are at the top of the emotional scale. You are at the allowing. You are at where the heavens part, and that where all of your dreams come true. And then finally, appreciation. And that's why I shared with you in the Joy Shop that what you want to do after you do your joy shop, it's a shortcut to everything that you want, the joy shop. Because when you are thinking, you read the joy shop, it raises your vibration to where you're feeling good. So it raises you up to this top point where you're at, empowered and loving and godly and joyful and freedom and worthy and feeling appreciation, and that it takes you to this high point, and then you write down your desires, and God is going to, your source is going to give you not only your desire, and the path to it, but even a greater desire, a clearer desire, more clarity for you on all the things that you want. And so then we talked about in the joy shop that you write down your desires, and so you have that clarity, and then you write down what you appreciate. Why? Because it puts you at the top of this line here. It puts you at the top of this world. You're on the top of the world. You are on top of the world. You're it. You're the creator there. And so in this joy shop, why it's so critical is so for you to feel good, write down your desires, write down what you appreciate, and then pre-pave your day on how do I want it to be. Because it's just the present moment. That's the only real moment. The past is dead. Your future is only based on your thoughts today, right now. So what are you thinking about? And now you have discovered how to think about what you do want. And those are the allowing thoughts. And this now puts it all together for you to understand on how that joy shop is the magic solution, and that you have more now understanding on how it raises that vibration. So you raise yourself to your source, and then all things will come to you. It is only then possible to get everything that you desire. So I ask you to expand your emotions, ask to expand your imagination, ask to go beyond where your thoughts have been, ask to go beyond where your feelings have been. And you are going to see just even more fabulous things happen in your life beyond your current imagination. But just be easy with yourself. Know it's all coming, that it is here with you, and you are now turning towards all of your desires. So becoming a master at manifesting, allow yourself to be led by your feelings. I let go of my mind and beliefs, and I allow the impulsive signals from my source to guide me and lead me to even better feelings, thoughts, and manifestations of what I want. Top performers, congratulations. You are now a master at manifesting of what you want. Your success steps. Complete your EQ assessment. So I'm going to send you in this last session now that in my last email as far as top performers, virtual top performers, your EQ assessment, emotional intelligence assessment. So it's a more, again, practical way of looking and start tapping into the importance of your feelings, of your emotions. Want you to listen to this recording at least 6 times. It literally has the secrets of the universe for you there, and for you to just continue to listen to it, that it will inspire you, it will encourage you, and it will keep you on this track. I can share with you that people get high on this, and that they have amazing things, and there's a tendency to get back off of it. So one of the ways is to listen to my CDs. In fact, I just had someone yesterday ask me for all those recordings and everything, to just send them to them because they're listening to them all the time in the car, etc. If you just listen to all this good, positive, uplifting information that I'm sharing with you, that only good things are coming your way. But however, know that a real fast route for you, if you feel good about that, is to do my platinum coaching. And that's where I coach with you twice a month. And I have an application form if you're interested in that. And so let me know if you do have an interest. Those people that come to me are the ones that it's the perfect timing. It's a perfect match for you to go to places that you've never even dreamed of. And make sure you do your Joy Shop every morning. If you want a new Joy Shop, because we sometimes get bored and we're sometimes not putting emotions into it, and if that's the case, that let me know. I'll send you another Joy Shop. And so I have several different Joy Shops. And with my Platinum Coaching, I have meditation and all kinds of different things that will lead you, again, into even a deeper path and understanding of how life works. And so I need your coaching application. Let me know if you are interested in that. And I want to thank you that I have absolutely loved our time together. Today was just absolutely amazing on how just it floated all right into the perfect words, the thoughts, the feelings for you to really embrace the magnificent creator that you are. I wish you all the best. I love you guys. That let me know if I can help you in any way, that I'm with you forever. That's a long time. And so if I can help you in any way, you let me know. So with that, love you. Can't wait to hear about all the other more success that you have. And so that's it for now. All the best and to your success. Bye-bye.